everyone, welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're visiting Taipei, Taiwan, and we're at Moaideas Studio. We are checking out Symphony No.9, receiving a lot of buzz this year in 2018. And this game will be available for pre-order and for demo at SN 2018, right, David?
Yes.
Okay, David is one of the developers on this game. So, David, can you tell me a little bit about how to play Symphony No.9?
Okay, sure. So in Symphony No.9, players will be the rich merchants of the 18th centuries, and we all love music, so we decide to support their works and become patrons. So what that means is that we'll be paying them money and support their works, and in return, we'll get ownerships to their newest compositions.
Okay, so this game has majority, this game has wagering, bidding, and also a little bit of set collection, right?
Yes. So I'll go through the game a bit. Each round will have two phases. During the first phase, we'll be choosing cubes from the board, and after that phase, after all players have chosen their cubes, then the player that has the most cubes in each color will gain their newest works, these composition tiles. Okay, if you gain a tile, then you have to discard some of your cubes. After you have that is over, we get into the next phase. We call that the concert. The concert phase. We'll be supporting this royal concert and invite musicians to perform. And this will be done using a sort of like a blind bid. We'll collectively decide how much money you're going to pay, and we will decide who gets invited. The invited musicians will then pay off money to the players that have cubes in their colors. So, for example, if these two musicians get invited, the blue and the brown musicians, then players with the cubes in those colors will get money. But if you get money, then you also have to discard some of your cubes.
Okay, so sounds like this part is the exciting part of the game. You get money, and you have to outthink your other players a little bit, but the points are still over here, right?
Yes. To gain points in this game, you must have these composition tiles to get points at the end of the game.
Okay, so this is Show Me How to Win, David. So give me a good strategy tip on how to win or be successful at Symphony No.9.
Okay, since the goal of the game is to get points through these composition tiles, and to get these composition tiles you have to get cubes. So you have to pay attention to what the cubes all the other players are taking, and also you have to look forward to the next round. If you only focus on what you're going to get this round, then maybe you don't have enough to compete in the next round, because in this game when you get tiles, you have to discard some of your cubes. When you get money, you also have to discard some of your cube. So maybe you might get a lot this round, but then you will get nothing next round. So that's something you have to consider when you're choosing your cubes.
Okay. Now we have all these different ways to score the composition. So you have one set for 4 players and one set for 2 to 3 players. Tell me, is there one of these that I should focus on that's a little bit more valuable, or?
Well, we think that most of them should have more or less the same value, since we've put a lot of effort into balancing it. But of course, some will look more attractive to players, or look like they're more valuable on the first look. But especially maybe like this one, because in a 4-player game, you might get up to 20 points, and in a 3-player game, you could get up to 16 points. So this would be something that most players might be focusing on, so there will be a lot of competition for it. Okay.
So if there's a lot of people going for those tiles, is there maybe another one that we can just kind of steadily go for and try to sneak up on other people?
Well, sometimes you have to consider how many money or how many cubes you have available. I mean, you have used or paid in return to get these tiles. So if there's a lot of competition, then you maybe have to pay a lot of more cubes to get the tile. Then if the other colors, there's not much competition, you might be able to get it easier. Because in this game, since, for example, in a 4-player game, since there are 6 musicians, and each musician will get about 1 tile for the 6 rounds. So in the whole game, there'll be 36 tiles given out. So on average, you would have, in a 4-player game, you would have to try to get at least 9 tiles throughout the game. So you have the average number, so we have be in the game, so you have more a basic winning chance. And if you can get up to 10 or 11 tiles, then you will have a very high chance of winning.
Okay, so to summarize, make sure you plan out your turns. Make sure you focus on your player order. If you don't want to like overspend your cubes, because next round you're gonna not have a very good time. Also, when looking at the scoring tiles, if the ones that will give you a lot of points, not a lot of people are going for it, you should go for it. But if everyone's going for it, then there are other tiles that are pretty balanced and you can steadily get points with the other way. Just don't try to get the one tile and not get the chance to get a composition if you can, because after all, that's where your points are coming from, right?
Yes, basically you still have to try to get the basic amount of tiles. If you don't have enough tiles, if you don't have 7 or 8, well, it would be very, very hard for you to win. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, David, so much for giving me so many tips on how to win or have a competitive edge at Symphony No.1. I look forward to trying this game out. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your tips. Bye!